Today we will start our history fourth chapter, the Mughal Empire. So basically in this chapter what we will read about Mughal Empire. So first of all, why we are reading this chapter and were Mughals. So students, you know that India is a large subcontinent and ruling as a large territory as the Indian subcontinent with such a diversity of people and culture was an extremely difficult task for any ruler to accomplish in the Middle Ages. Okay, and quite in contrast of their predecessors. The Mughal created an empire and accomplished what had hitherto seemed possible for only short period of time. Means it was very difficult to rule here in India because there are lots of type of people were living and the because of the diversity of the people. From the later half of the 16th century, they expanded their kingdom from Agra and Delhi, and until in the 17th century, they controlled nearly all of the subcontinent. Okay, so they imposed a structure of administration and ideas of governance that outlasted their rules, leaving a political legacy that succeeding rulers of the subcontinent could not ignore. Today, the Prime Minister of India addressed the nation on Independence Day from the ramparts of the Red Fort in Delhi, the residence of the Mughal Empire. This Red Fort was is, was also one time this was also the residence of the Mughal Empire. But in present time, the Prime Minister of India give on Independence Day from the ramparts of the Red Fort, the Prime Minister of India addressed the nation on the Independence Day. Okay, so you can see that first of all we will read that who were Mughals. Okay, who were Mughals? कौन थे Mughals? The Mughals were descendants of two great lineages of rulers. Okay, so from their mother side, they were descendants of Genghis Khan, who died in 1227. Okay, and the Mongol ruler who ruled over part of China and Central Asia. From their father's side, they were the successor of Temur, the ruler of Iran, Iraq, and modern day Turkey. However, the Mughals didn't like to be called Mughals or Mongols. This was because Genghis Khan's memory was associated with the massacre of innumerable people. It was also linked with the Uzbeks, their Mongol competitors. On the other hand, the Mughals were proud of their Timurid ancestry, not least of all because their great ancestor had captured Delhi in 1398. They celebrated their genealogy and pictorially each ruler getting a picture made of Temur and himself. Take a look of figure 2, which is somewhat like a group photograph. Okay, here you can see this is the figure 2. You can see this is the miniature painting of Temur and his descendants and Mughal Empire. Temur in the center and on his right is his son Miran Shah, the first Mughal Empire Babur great great grandfather, and then Abu Said Babur's grandfather to the left of Temur, and Sultan Muhammad Mirza Babur's great grandfather, and Umar Sheikh Babur's father. The Mughal Empire Babur, Akbar, and Shah Jahan are the third, fourth, and fifth individual on Taimur's right and on his left. In the same order, the Humayun, Jahangir, and Aurangzeb are also there. You can see in this picture. Okay, so these are the picture of the Mughal emperors, some Mughal emperors. Okay. So basically in this chapter we will start from the Babur, who ruled from 13 April, who was from 30 April 1526 to 26 December 1530. Humayun, who is 26 December 1530, 17 May 1540. He is his classical period, and February 1555 27 to January 1556. Akbar, 27 January 1556 to 27 October 1605. Jahangir, 6 October 15th October 605 to 8 November 1627. Shah Jahan, 8 November 1627 to August 1658. Aurangzeb, 31 July 1658 and 3 March 1707. Let's start from the Babur. Babur. The Mughal Empire was founded by Babur. Okay, and Zahir ud Din Muhammad Babur was born on 4th February 1483. Sometime also spelled Babur or Babur. Okay, these two are the spelling of the Babur. He founded the Mughal Empire after his victory at Battle of Panipat in 1526 and the Battle of Khanwa. Okay, after that, when he won this battle, he found the Mughal Empire, and he was a director and descendant of Tamur. Okay, we have already read about the Tamur. Tamur was considered as a very powerful ruler because he captured the Delhi at that time from the Baras clan through his father, and also a descendant of Jahangir Khan through his mother. Okay, so here you can see who was the father and mother of the Tamu. You can see, so from the Barlas clan through his father, and also a descendant of Jahangir Khan through his mother. Ousted from his ancestral domain in Central Asia, Babur turned to India to satisfy his ambitions. After Babur fell seriously ill, Humayun, his eldest son, was summoned from Jagir. He died at the age of 47 on 26 December 1530 and was succeeded by Humayun. Okay, so Babur died. When he died on 26 December 1530, and Humayun became the king. Okay, this is the picture of the Babur. Here you can see this is the Babur. So here also you can see there are some a portrait of Babur from an early illustrated manuscript of the Babur Nama. The book of Babur, the biography of Babur is known as the Babur Nama, that is in 1589 to 90. The first battle of Panipat in 21 April 1526 was fought between invading force of Babur and Lodi Empire. You can see. This is the first battle of the Panipat. The Battle of Khanwa. The Battle of Khanwa was fought near the village of Khanwa, about 60 km west of Agra, on March 17, 1527. Here you can see the picture of the Battle of Khanwa. The Battle of Khanwa was fought near the village of Khanwa, from about 60 km west of Agra, and it was on March 17, 1527. It was the second major battle fought in modern day India by the first Mughal emperor Babur after the Battle of Panipat. Now our next, after the Babur, his eldest son Humayun became the emperor, and Humayun, his full name was Nasiruddin Muhammad Humayun. Here you can see his picture. Was born on 17 March 1508 on Kabul, Afghanistan. Okay. Babur celebrate the birth of Humayun in the Chahar Bagh of Kabul. Okay. Babur celebrate his birth in Chahar Bagh of Kabul. Humayun, you can see here the picture of Humayun with his father. Okay, Humayun succeeded his father in 1531 as ruler of Mughal territories in India. At the age of 23, Humayun was an inexperienced ruler when he came to power. Because he was not having any experience, Humayun is reunited with Akbar. Sesar Suri defeated Humayun at Chausa in 1539 and at Kannauj in 1540. Okay, so he was defeated, and Sesar Suri defeated Humayun and expelling him from India. While withdrawing from one place to the other, his son Akbar was born at Umarkot on October 14, 1542. Okay, then Akbar was born. Humayun was continuously defeating. He was continuously defeated by the Seta Suri. Seta Suri defeated Humayun at Chausa, and he was just wandering from one place to another place. And then his son Akbar was born. Humayun conquered the Punjab, Delhi, and Agra, and reoccupied the throne of Delhi after an interval of 15 years. Okay, again when Humayun tried, and he again won the battle, and he again won all the places, Delhi, Agra, and reoccupied the throne of Delhi. Humayun is slipped and fell down the stair and fractured his skull. His was then carried to the place. He died on January 26, 1520 1556 में उनकी डेथ हो गई थी. तो वो स्लिप फिल गिर गए थे और स्टेयर से, दैट्स व्हाई ही डाइड. आफ्टर दैट हिज सन अकबर बिकेम द एम्परर. Abul Fath Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, popularly known as Akbar, literally the Great Akbar. He was born on 14th October 1542, also known as Akbar the Great or Akbar. He was Mughal emperor from 1556 until his death. He was a very successful emperor. Okay, and he was the third and one of the greatest ruler of the Mughal dynasty in India. You know that Mughal Akbar was also known as Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. In 1556, Humayun died just month after retaking Delhi. Akbar ascended the Mughal throne at the age of 13. 13 की एज में वो emperor उसने संभाला, and become Shahanshah, means the king of the kings. His regent was Barma Khan, and his childhood guardian and an outstanding warrior statesman. Here you can see the Mughal Emperor Akbar shoot the Rajput warrior Jamal during the siege of Chittorgarh in 1567. Students, Akbar was a very successful ruler, and Akbar died in 1605, and some sources say Akbar became fatally ill with dysentery, while others cite a possible poisoning. Others says that he was poisoned, and likely traced to Akbar's son Jahangir. Many favored Jahangir's eldest son Khusro to succeed Akbar as emperor, but Jahangir is forcefully ascended after Akbar's death. Many architectural masterpieces were built at his time. Here you can see आगरा का जो रेड फोर्ट है, एंड लाहौर प्लेस, फतेहपुर सीकरी, एंड बुलंद दरवाजा, एंड अलाहाबाद फोर्ट वर बिल्ट ड्यूरिंग हिज टाइम. After that, Akbar's son Jahangir became the emperor. Nur-ud-Din Muhammad Salim, known by his imperial name Jahangir. Okay, Jahangir was also known as Samir. So, Nur-ud-Din Muhammad Salim, also known by his imperial name Jahangir, was born on 30 August 1569, was the fourth Mughal emperor, who ruled from 1605 until his death on 1627. Jahangir was the eldest surviving son of Mughal Emperor Akbar and was declared successor of his father from an early age. Jahangir was married to Shah Begum, a princess from Amber, who killed herself in 1605 out of shame at the rebellion of her son Prince Khusro. Okay, so she killed herself because his queen, that Shah Begum, she killed herself because her son become a rebellion, that is Prince Khusro. Celebration at the accession of Jahangir in 1600, when Akbar was away from the capital on an expedition. Salim broke into an open rebellion and declared himself emperor. Akbar had to hastily return to Agra and restore order. There was a time when Akbar thought of putting his eldest grandson Khusro Mirza on the throne instead of Salim. Jahangir openly rebelled against his father at first, but was eventually reconciled, and on Akbar's death on November 1605, he assumed the throne. Here you can see this is the picture of Noor Jahan. Mir un Nisha. Her name was Mir un Nisha. She is also known as Noor Jahan, occupy an important place in the history of Jahangir. She was the widow of rebel officer Sher Afghan of Mughals. She was beautiful and strong woman. She soon became Jahangir's favorite queen and assumed the title of Noor Jahan, light of the world. Noor Jahan herself came to exercise considerable influence over her husband, and Jahangir is said to have relied heavily on her advice. Shah Jahan. Shahabuddin Muhammad Shah Jahan or Shah Jahan was born on 5 January 1594. He was the fifth Mughal emperor of India. He is also known as Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan assumed the Mughal throne on 24 January 1628 in Agra, a few days after the death of Jahangir. Shah Jahan has left behind an extraordinary architectural legacy. It was at his command that the Taj Mahal was built in Agra in memory of his favorite wife Mumtaz Mahal. Here you can see this is the picture of Taj Mahal. Aurangzeb eventually triumphed in the succession struggle of methodically methodically eliminating his brother. Aurangzeb captured Shah Jahan on 8 June 1658 and had him jailed at the Agra fort, from where the old emperor could look wistfully at the glorious Taj. Shah Jahan died in captivity on 22 January 1666 when he was 72 age. Tomb of Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan. You can see these two tombs are there in Taj Mahal. Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb, emperor, who was the sixth son of Shah Jahan, was born on 24th October and 1618 at Dohad in Madhya Pradesh, and wrested India's crown from his father before the end of June 1658 after defeating his brother Prince Dara Shukow's army. Dara Shikoh, the eldest son of Shah Jahan, was resident of Shah Jahan's court at the designated hire, and Soja was governor of Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. Aurangzeb governed the Deccan, and Murad was governor of Gujarat and Malwa. Okay. Aurangzeb took his own father prisoners. Suja's army was routed in battle, and Murad was lured into a false agreement and taken prisoners. Dara eventually collected together another force and suffered defeat as before, and once again he fled, but soon he was betrayed by one of his allies and handed over to his brother. Here you can see the picture of Aurangzeb seated on the peacock, and here you can see the painting of Shirka 1637 show the brothers left to right. You can see left to right. First one is Shah Shuja and Aurangzeb and Murad Baksh in their younger years. Next one is Bahadur Shah Jafar. Mirza Abu Mirza Abu Zafar Sirajuddin Muhammad Bahadur Shah Zafar, also known as Bahadur Shah Zafar, was born on October 14, 1775, Delhi. Bahadur Shah Zafar was the last Mughal emperor and a member of Timurid dynasty. He was the son of Akbar II and Lalbai, a Hindu Rajput. He became the Mughal emperor when his father died on 28 September 1837, following his involvement in the Indian Rebellion of 1857. The British tried and then exiled him from Delhi and sent him to Rangoon in British controlled Burma. He died on November 7, 1862 AD in Rangoon, British India, now in Burma. Okay. So these are the some important rulers and some important points about them. You have to watch the video again to understand about these rulers. Okay. So we will complete the next part of this chapter in our next video.